Hello, folks. Um, this is Victor here, and you are watching the program Hall of Shame. This is our third episode, and on this segment, we'll be talking about Ghana roads. We know that roads are very important in a whole lot of way, whether economically, for beauty purposes, or for commuting purposes. These are all important. And Ghana, as it stands today, our roads are in terrible conditions. In every day I say in 21st century, I think that when we are doing a lot of things, we basically can look at it from other country and copy or make changes to suit the way our own cultures are. But for Ghana, it seems that we're not doing anything about it. Today, we still build roads that have open gutters. We still build roads that, in fact, our building ethics, we don't put any sort of thinking into it. We do not put any sort of consideration into it. And so we build roads today without considering pedestrians. We build roads today without considering cyclists. We build roads without considering anything else. The main purpose of building roads is at least make sure that we have a road where vehicles can use. But without that, we don't have any other ideas or any sort of consideration into it that, oh, we have to consider this or we have to consider that. And these are some of the serious issues that I think that we have to look at it again. And for me, our high roads are even what scares me. And I personally call them road of no return, because if you look at Ghana as it is today, road accident probably might be the second or the third leading causes of death in Ghana. And that's the truth. A lot of people die from road accidents than malaria in Ghana today. And so I think that this is an issue that we have to be very serious about it. Because if we do not do anything about it, I'm afraid things are going to be really, really scary in the coming years. Because as we know, a lot of people who travel on our high roads, whether from Accra to Kumasi, Accra to Takoradi, and so on, there are a lot of accidents which happens on these routes. And simply because we do not put into consideration or whatsoever when we are building these roads. In most developed countries, the roads are divided into two. Probably 4 or 5 are going and 4 or 5 are coming. And there are even extra road where in case of an accident or emergency, you can park, deal with it. You understand? But here in Ghana, most of our roads, even the ones we call highways, they are built in such a way that one is going, one is coming. And so this is a kind of road which basically it's like a death trap, where it is regardless whether you are driving safe or not, whether you've drunk or not, the possibility that you might crash into somebody is basically very high. And so I think that as a country, there should be there should be a thing that scares us. Unless you haven't have any sort of relative or personal encounter, then you might ignore this. And so I think that this is an emergency, an issue which we have to start thinking about it again. It is time for us to start building roads that are going to be routes that is going to help us go or transport things and come back safely, rather than building roads for political point. Because at the end of the day, people will say, oh, we built road from Accra to Kumasi. We built this road from Bolgatanga to Hohoi. But as to whether these roads are killing people or not, we don't really care. And so I think that It is time for us to talk about this issue because this is a very serious issue. This is a very serious issue. So, folks, this brings us to the end of today's episode, which is Ghana Roads. Hashtag Roads of No Return. If you have any message or any comments, please don't forget to leave your comments below. It is time for us to raise our voices and talk about some of these issues that are affecting Ghana and pushing us backwards. This brings us to the end of today's program. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next week for another interesting episode. If today is your first day of watching, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. See you guys next week.